Action. All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Daphne. Let's have some open conversation with Grandma here, just about life. Want to hear your story from beginning. We'll just talk. You don't got to worry about the camera.
There's so much.
You just face me. And
beginning. Can I tell you the beginning?
I want to start from the beginning. Let's talk about where you're born. Where are you born?
I was born in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
in a little town by the name of Mandeville,
Mandeville, yes.
and a little district by the name of Hanbury. And I grew up with my grandfather, called him Papa.
You grew up with your grandfather?
Papa, I love him.
Okay.
And my grandmother, everybody called him Auntie Fanny. And she was the sweetest lady on earth.
Your grandmother was called Auntie Fanny?
Auntie Fanny.
So my great-grandmother's Auntie Fanny.
Auntie Fanny. Her right name is Francella, but everybody called her Fanny.
Fanny.
And she
Okay.
was married to Uriah Martin.
Uriah Martin. There's the Martin name right there.
Yes. And so they had 4 children. And my mother was the oldest one.
Mm.
And her name was Miriam. And everybody called her Auntie Miri.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Miriam Martin. I know great-grandma. That's my people's. I miss grandma.
They called her Auntie Mary. But her sister and brother, which was younger than her,
Mm-hmm.
their father demanded that they don't call her by her first name. They call her sister.
That's why everybody call her sister.
That's why that's why everybody called her sister.
Yeah.
Our friends call her sister. Everybody know her as sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up. She was a teenager when she got pregnant. She was 18 years old.
Okay.
And my father come from another town, and he's a builder.
Okay.
And so when they checked out my father, they found out that he was an older man, 12 years older,
12 years older, so 32.
and he had another family.
Uh-oh.
He had another lady with some other children.
Uh-oh.
So when my grandfather found out, he dumped him
All right.
and said, that's it.
Yeah, he's not with
That
us.
child is going to be mine.
All right.
So that's how come I call him Papa,
That's why you grew up with your grandfather.
my grandfather. So I know no different
All right.
that he's my Papa.
All right.
And my grandmother is my mama.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, everybody call her sister.
Mm.
She have a younger sister that was 16. So everybody just adored the little girl Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big problem, because here this little girl come in the family and everybody want to give her a name. My mother want to give me the name that I have now, Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother want to give her mother's name, which was Joanna. And my mother didn't want me to name Joanna. She had a dear friend named Mary, and Mary was going to be my godmother.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to name me Mary. So I was born in a private hospital. And the matron came to them for my name.
And it was a fight.
And so this one said Mary, the other one said Joanna, the other one said Daphne. And the matron was so mad, she just walked out of the room and says, when you people ready to give me the name, you come and tell me so I can register this child.
All right.
And as far as I know,
How did we land on Daphne?
as far as I know, none of them went back to the office and named me. Whether they forget, but I had no name.
Oh, you did tell me this.
So the matron had no choice but to put in the register, female child of Miriam Martin. My father named it, didn't come up. Female child of Miriam Martin. And that was registered. But everybody, she called me Daphne. I go to school, everybody, my name in school is, I'm Daphne from that day. It was never registered with the country that I was a girl named Daphne.
Right.
It was 1949 when my aunt decided to get me to the United States. I have to get my birth certificate and everything. That was 1949. I went to get my birth certificate. And they couldn't find no birth certificate, no name there. And they said, my father's name is James Powell. My mother's name is Miriam Martin. Here is my school certificate. My name is Daphne Powell. And nowhere in no record any Daphne Powell was there. And one of the guys searched and searched. And he said, wait a minute. It's registered. When your mother, what's your name again? What's your mother's name? I said, Miriam Martin. I said, this is it. Female child of Miriam Martin, born 1930, 16th of December, 19. If you have any other daughter, I said, no, I am that person.
Wow, I know you were like, what?
So that's the time I was registered as Daphne. I had to go find my father now to get it. I said, forget it. Just put Daphne May Powell, and that's how my birth certificate ended. And I ended up like Daphne May Powell for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow.
So.
Hold on, so let's go back, rewind a little bit. Before you get to America, what was living?
So let me finish it.
Yes.
When I was 5 years old, when I went to school, I had two friends, one by the name of Natalie and one by the name of Joy. We were best friends, but we live in different areas.
I hate to give the secret away early, but is that why Auntie Joy's name is Joy?
No, not
okay,
really.
just wondering.
Not really.
Okay.
So, we go to the same school, a one-room school. Natalie was my friend, Natalie was my neighbor. But Joy lived in another town, but she come to the same school. So on Monday morning, when we get to school, we always talk about what happened over the weekend. And therefore that Monday morning, when we get recess at 10 o'clock, we went outside and we hug and we start. And Joy started to talk about what she and her father did. She said, oh, my daddy and I went this place and we did this place. And Natalie started to talk about her father. She said, my daddy and I did this and my daddy. So I have to jump in what my daddy. And I says, my daddy and I went to this cricket place. They were playing ball. And Natalie knew that my grandfather was my grandfather. He was my papa, because people in the district talked.
Right.
That this man is raising this child, but he's his grandchild. So Natalie knew, and Natalie whispered to Joy.
Oh no.
And start to giggle. Daphne have no father. He's our grandfather, she called father. That was the shock of my life.
Why would she do that?
Just gossip kids do things like that.
Yeah, your kids, I guess.
So when I came home, I was shocked. I asked my mama.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know the facts. No.
Oh, that's when you found out.
That's when I found out that Papa wasn't my real Papa. So when I came home, I asked my mama, my grandmama, Papa gone to work, is Papa not my father? Mama said, where you get that from? I said, well, at school, Natalie said, Papa is my grandfather, he's not my father. And my grandmother she said, Daphne, don't even bother. Papa is your father. But Mama, Natalie said, him is my grandfather. I want to know who is my father. Couldn't you ask Master Eugene to be my father? Master Eugene is the man who carried the milk for us every morning. Mama said, no, Master is a pretty man. He had a dimple, nice man. He always hugged me when he bring the milk. I said, ask Master Eugene to be my father. Mama said, no, Daphne, that's not so father come. When Papa come in the evening, he will talk to you and he will tell you. I couldn't wait for Papa to come home. And when Papa come home, I had him with the question again. And he sat me down and told me the whole story about who my father
And
is.
how old were you, 5?
I was in second grade at school.
So it's about what?
Well, 9.
7, 8, 9?
9, because I was backward.
Right.
And he told me the whole story and told me that I had a good father. The father was what he was, and he told me that one day I'm going to bring you to see your real father, but he's your father. So that's how it started off. And I never stopped until I think it was about a year after that, where my grandfather come from, the town he come from. Some of the folks was going to a missionary thing where my father lived. And so he said he would go visit his people and take me along, and they would go now, take a bus or truck to go to where my father was. And that's how I first met my father. And he knew about me. Everybody knew about me. I was tall. I was always tall and skinny. And when we got there, early morning, Sunday morning, and it was a lot of people going to that place for this baptism service. Buses, truck, and it was a play. So I didn't know who was new. But when we got there, it was before day. It was just dawn. It was still dark. And everybody coming off the bus, and I said, this is the town my father lived that they have in this convention. And people mix up. I saw a man, and I said, Mister, do you know a man by the name of Jim Powell? He said, no, maybe the man came off the same bus with me. I see another one, and I asked, he said, no. I saw another one. I said, Mister, you come from around here? I was always a bright kid. I said, you come from around here? The man says, yes, ma'am. Yes, my dear. Yes, my dear. I said, you know a man by the name of James Powell? He said, oh, yes, Mass Jim. Him just up and live up a top hill. Me say, it's far from here. So he said, no, it's not too far. I was so glad somebody know where he.
Somebody know where. Take me.
But my Papa knew everything about it before.
Right.
Papa knew where he lived. Papa knew his father. Papa knew everything about them. So when Papa come, I said, Papa, there's a man who knew where my father is. Papa said, you're like a wretch. You don't ask nobody more question. Don't ask any more question. I know when daylight out, I will take you. And I couldn't wait till the sun started to come up and we start to walk. And it's a different place from where I come from. It's a sugarcane industry place. Lot of sugarcane. I didn't see any mango tree. I didn't see no. I saw no tree but sugarcane.
Sugarcane everywhere.
And I said, this is where my father come from. And so we reached to the house where they live. And the houses there built different from the house that we'll have in Mandeville. Because it's an industrial place with sugarcane, most people build their house and they call it and stick. You know, the post,
bamboo almost.
The posts go down and you can go under the cellar, and they don't build it with blocks. Most of them build it with board and whatever. So we walk in, and that's what I saw. Before day, when we turn into the gate, Papa know the house. And we saw two little children run from the back. Just wake up, big eye pick me, them run out and then peep like children and they run back to the back. I must tell their mother that somebody outside.
Yeah.
And the lady came. She was a cute little lady. And she came. She knew about me. And she said, oh, Mass Jim. She called our husband Mass Jim. Mass Jim is over his father's house. Him always go over there to have coffee and in the morning. So he's over there. And so Papa know where the father is. That will be my grandfather. It's his father's house. So we walk 2 houses like where Michelle is, and they have a nicer house. And they drive. It has like shoe black flowers and all that. It looks good. And we walk inside, and he was sitting on a piece of wood. You know, a tree fall down and dry there. And about 3 of them sit down with the mug of coffee, drinking coffee. And as we enter the gate, my father saw my grandfather, and saw the little girl.
And he knew right away.
He knew right away. He said, Jamaica style. I can't believe it. Mass Uriah, our breeze blow you here. and he turned to his father. It's the first thing me hear him say about me. He turned to his father and that man who was sitting there. This is the little girl that I have up a mountain. And you know, like the word say, have me up a mountain. And right there, I said, this man said me come from a mountain. But there are low valley. Where they live is a valley. And where we live in Mandeville, if you go there now, it's a mountain. So him say, and so after that, whatever they say, and he said, okay, I'm going to take us to go see his, and he have a bicycle. Everybody, as them stairs, so everybody ride bicycle. And he had the bicycle, and he said, come on, Daphne, whatever you grow, you grow to a big girl now. Wait, what a minute. Come on, you ride the bicycle and I will walk. I said, I can't ride bicycle, sir. He said, you, a big girl like you can't ride bicycle. You know, my heart, I said, you're not giving me a bicycle. But him said, he put me on the crossbar. And then my foot and knock on the, because I had long legs. Mm-hmm. And him said, oh, come on, you have long legs, drop your leg, pull up your foot. I had to pull up my foot. And he take me to his house. And I met this rest of the trip. That's how come it started.
Okay.
And I never forget until I wasn't impressed. Because I saw my lifestyle, how Papa and them had it, more than what they had. Mm-hmm. My father, although he's a builder, no job. So you know what he did? He has 2 mules and he has a cart. And he goes to the sugar cane estate. And when they cut the cane, they load it on his cart and then take it to the place where they must have. So he draw sugar cane into Monomus estate where they still had the estate there. And that's where his job, until him get a job out of town to do what him have to do. That was his second job. But he was a mason and builder. So that was it. And we left and we come home and I never bothered them anymore.
You never saw them again?
I saw them again. But you know, you get older now, you're big.
Yeah, it's like...
You're a teenager now. You don't hear the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Teenager now. I was doing mission and whatever. And I met a girl. And she was talking about her boyfriend. And she had told me about her friend had this boyfriend. And when she found out the boyfriend was her brother. Because then, just like how me would know my brother and my sister then. I said, what? She said, yes, the boyfriend. Me tell the people, them say, me want to go know my family. At 16, I said, I want to know my brother. If I have a brother and a sister, I want to know. I don't want to grow up and meet a boy and my brother. Right. They think I was rude, but that's Daphne. That's how I am. And they never want. They think me ungrateful. They think me this. And I used to have my own little money. And then I find out the way to get there and to get in touch with them. And I got in touch with my father somewhere and then tell me how to get there. And I was able to take the bus part way. And I thought the bus could take me right there, but you have to go to a cross place and take another bus to go where them is. Yeah. I didn't know all that.
You figured it out?
But I did, and I went.
So you got to know everybody?
So I get to know. I start to look at what was going on in the I love to read. Now that's what I do. A book by the name of D. Powell. I'm D. Powell. Mm-hmm. So I said, who was D. Powell? They said, Doreen. You have a sister by the name of Doreen.
Oh, she writes books.
Huh?
She writes books.
No, it was her name in the book.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the book was Doreen Powell.
Right.
So that was one of the sister. Maybe that was one of the little girl who went out and singing. I don't know.
Right.
But I asked about who is this D. Powell.
Right.
And it says Doreen. And then the mother was very sad and started to tell me some sad story about Doreen. So Doreen was a bright little girl and she left and she went to school, and when she come back she takes sick and she died. And they want to think that somebody did something evil to her. You know that in my heart now me start to think me not stayed in this place. My sister died and then I don't know how she died. So anyhow, that was my visit.
At what age?
Huh?
How old was Doreen?
I don't even know.
Well, young, huh?
But she was older than me because my father had children.
Was still a kid though.
Yeah, she was still a kid. Like how I know June, she was like June, because when I know June was about 12 or 14 going to scholarship and stuff. I'll tell you about June. So that's how Doreen died. And so I put it at the back of my mind. The lady was very, very nice. She sang very good. She has an organ in the house and she would teach me to play the organ, and she would want me to, she'd do good dressmaking.
So you started spending a lot of time with them?
No, this is one time.
Just one time?
When I go there. So when I said, no ma'am, and not only that, then I have nothing to eat. Me not see no breadfruit tree, there's no orange tree. Me not see nothing like what I have.
Yeah.
My father, my papa have everything. They have nothing but sugar cane.
Yeah.
And they entertain me and give me something to eat. But the next meal was coming from me, who loves what me get up, man. So I said, no.
So you went back and then you didn't go back anymore?
So I didn't go back anymore. I never go back. I start my own life. Went into the church. I went to the Bible school. I gave my life to Christ just after that 16 part of it. Right now I changed my life completely. And my life take a different move. And from that move it takes me into mission. And I just love what I was doing, and it was good for the Bible. I do all the stories. I do church planting. I do mission work, and they send me to a place. They were sending me to. I was supposed to go to British Guyana. I was supposed to go, but something with immigration had never come true, and so they sent me to another part of Jamaica named Porous to start Sunday school. And I would go down there on a Saturday evening and have Sunday school Sunday and come back and go back into class, and that go on. And
How old are you at this point?
18, 19, and 18, 19, and someplace between.
Where's Grandpa?
No, Grandpa, I don't know.
Not yet.
Don't know nothing about him.
Not yet. Okay.
Don't know nothing about him. Don't know nothing.
I don't know how early you guys crossed paths. I don't know.
That's you will get there. So
that's down the road.
with that part of it, I stay in Porous, and then once a year we have to go to conference. So there was a lady in our church that she was rich, but she has cows, and she says whatever she get, 1/10 of it, she would pay. She would give it to the church to give it to me. It wasn't money, it was a guinea or whatever. That would buy me deodorant and things. I board with these people. I get my food, I get every single thing. And I have my auntie from America send me clothes and all that. So I needed nothing. I was very happy doing what I was doing. And God really blessed me there. I stayed here a year and 9 months. And within that, I did a lot. I did a lot. I met a place. We didn't have a church. It was just... The church was a booth, if you know what a booth is. It's like a house, but it is made from coconut bough to keep out the rain. And they make a top for it. And they put seats in it. They use board to make pews.
Okay.
And it's no dirt. It's no floor, it's dirt. But it's hard red dirt. And they make a little platform. And that's what. So I teach Sunday school, and during the week I visit. I visit people home, I visit sick people until they send another girl to work with me. And so when I came back from the people who I was boarding with, something happened and the church didn't want me to stay there anymore, and there was no place for me to stay. But during that time I met a guy who fell in love with me. Yeah.
Somebody outside of my grandfather?
Long before him. He would come and knock him out. He was the one who... It was a trick for me to marry your father, your grandfather. It was a trick. They tricked me.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about this guy before we talk about Grandpa.
Oh, the guy. The thing about it, the guy, we have a lot of white people in the area. Rich white people.
Oh, this is that guy.
So this guy was a white guy. His father...
Grandma, you had jungle fever? Huh? You had jungle fever? You like white men?
I didn't marry him, no. But I liked him.
You liked him.
He was a nice guy. He was a matter of fact, I didn't even know the guy liked me. I started to teach, and he was one of the guys who started to come to church. And he started to come to church, and he gave his life to Christ. And I said, you have to be baptized. And his parents didn't think he should go to a church like that. He have 2 sisters that freckle, you know them. When I was at the post office. But that guy never stopped. He always come. And he always come to the place because the church was in the house where I live. The church is here and the house is here. So anyhow, his name is Dudley Castle. Dudley Castle would come, and Dudley Castle come. And I knew he liked me a whole lot. and I was watching his progress. So when I went to the conference and come back, they sent me back to Mandeville. And then we used to talk together all the time, talk together. And him start come to Bible school in Mandeville. Nobody knew why he was coming, but he was coming because I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could put it together.
You knew.
But
you knew why.
I knew. But when it come, it wasn't anything official. We just love one another. And we said, well, maybe one day it work out. But I wasn't sure where it would go from there. But I know he was a nice Christian guy. And I know he loved me. He wanted.
See, that's what I be thinking about. This is what goes through my head when you say this. If you was with him, I wouldn't have been born.
Huh?
If you would have stayed with this guy, I would never been born.
You would have. You're going to hear the rest of the story.
Because my dad wouldn't have been born.
Your daddy wouldn't be in the picture, but your daddy came in the picture while he was still in the picture.
Well, I'm saying my dad. If you don't get with Grandpa, my dad's not born. If my dad's not born, I'm not born. Anyways,
you would be named Carson.
I wouldn't be alive, Grandma. That would not be me. I am in the Morrison body. I'm not in your body or this guy's body. I'm in the Morrison body. So
well. Anyhow, it so happened that I tell you that I do visitation all the time, and I met a man, and he asked me where the church was, and I told him. He said, no, the church was inside a community. And he said, you need to have a church on the main for you to get people to come to church. And the man said, let me give you a number. The man gave me a number of a man who was selling a plot on the main road. And when he gave it to me, I take it back to Mandeville, to my pastor. And the association decide. That's the time I couldn't go back to that lady house because they was changing their belief. And so and it's just God's will for me to go back because Papa wasn't keeping well. Papa was sick. And Mama had to take care. So I went back there just the time like to help take care of Papa. And still put myself back in the church doing Sunday school work and all that. During the time when I was in Porus doing Sunday school work, your Papa, Stephen, became a part of the church. But I didn't know about him. I didn't know a whole group of young men was there. And he was around them. But I didn't know him.
Grandma, stop acting like you didn't see my grandpa looking fresh over there in the corner.
No.
You seen Grandpa?
No. Because I think that I was more mature. I went out on mission, and there was a group of young people. I know about him, so the young people then giggle. So when I go there was a whole group of young men and girls my age. But I think myself, because I had progressed in teaching, progressed in the mission work, I was able to
separate. You elevated.
I was above them.
You elevated.
I feel that. Not that I didn't like them,
right.
But I did not hang around with them in that time.
Right.
We nice, but I never have any mind to be with them. We laugh and we talk and we have mission and all that, but to be a part of them. And I never know him. I know the others, but I know where he come from. I know most of the young people then. And he never paid no attention. There was a girl named Sheena. So I thought he was friendly with Sheena because I always see him talking to Sheena. So I don't pay them no mind. So what happened, my pastor, when I tell you about the place that to get the spot to build the church come up with some money. But that's my baby, to build the church. They start to build the church. And I left and I never go back for Sunday school. They had somebody that take over. When they start to build a new church now, they had a day of free labor when everybody would come together and help build the church.
Together, yeah.
This guy that I tell you, Dudley Carson, he's a carpenter. But they used to call him Jungle Prince. That was his name, Jungle Prince.
Jungle Fever, see, Jungle Prince.
So he liked me, And so my pastor is a person, his father died. So he had to take over the management, and his mother and his two sisters. So he lived with his mother and his two sisters up in the hills there, way up in the hills where they had a property. I never go there, but I hear where they live up, not too far from the church. So when the pastor went down to the free labor that Saturday afternoon, all of us as young people was at the church. We have choir rehearsal later on, and we was hanging around. A lot of us was there hanging around. So my pastor went to the free labor because the church, we were sponsoring that church. I want us to go with him, but I didn't get to go with him. So when he came back the evening from the free labor, since it's my church, it's my beginning, I get this part. I want to know how the progress was. So I saw him and I said, Reverend Judy, how was the free labor today? He said, oh, sister, call me Sister Daphne. Oh, Sister Daphne, we had a beautiful day. Everybody turned out. And Brother Darren was there, and he started to call the name of all who I know was Brother Heron was there, and this, may I wait for him to say, Brother Carson was there. He never mentioned Brother Carson, but he was tricking me. He tricked Carson. So listen to me now. And he said, all who was there, and all of a sudden him said, oh, that one who said he want to marry you. I said, what are you talking about? He said, yeah. Send you to Porus to start a church. I didn't know you find a man. I tell you, I nearly died. Because my pastor is my father. He is my, him and his wife take me for their daughter. And for him to find out that, I nearly died. So I said, him say, yeah, I didn't know that. I can't wait to see Dudley the next Sunday or whenever when I saw him. I said, what did you tell Reverend Brody about me? He said, Daphne, him tricked me. He asked me, say, a nice young man like me and live alone with my parents, don't I think it's time for me to get married? And I tell him, I'm not ready yet. And he said, why? It's because I tell him I don't see anybody who's suitable that I would want to be my wife. I told him that. And he asked me, so with all the young people in this church and the young people you come to Mandeville, you don't see anyone there? And I had to tell him, yes, he was the only person. So I told Brother Brody, get it. So him tell the pastor, say, I'm the one. And him have it. But at that time, I did not know that my pastor was getting Stephen ready for me.
Okay, Pastor, he is already preparing them.
So he never said nothing to me. He only said to me, he said to me, that Sister Morrison said very nice. Mr. Carson seemed to be a nice young man, but you know, he's white. His culture is a little different, and maybe God could use him, but I think you should think this thing very secure before you go any serious. I think you should think about it and you should pray and give me good counsel and all that. So I said, yes, Pastor, because we just friends. We just friends. We just friends, and there's nothing to it. He says, well, I hope there's nothing to it, but you should pray and trust the Lord, and because it's a different. At that time, him have Stephen in my mind, but
He's
nobody
not telling you that though.
I had no idea, and Stephen knew.
Oh, Stephen, Grandpa knew. I said Stephen.
He knew. And so one day we were going to another place. We go on mission trip. I had two other ladies. The lady I tell you that I always give the money to buy my deodorant. She was in the car, an older lady, and two others. And we were driving past this place where a lot of, they call them dundos. It's people, white people, look like white people, but they have red hair. Red hair and them funny eyes.
Okay.
My pastor drive up. They said there was children out there. Oh my goodness, you see those children? Oh, when Sister Daphne married to Brother Carson, that's how her children were coming.
All right.
I was in the car. Sister Dogan said, "Oh, now we notice. We see that young man coming up here all the time. Oh, you never see someone put out fire."
That's a perfect place to end day one. Let's stop right there. I don't think there's a better place to end episode 1 right there, Grandma. All right, we're going to pick right from there. All right, next episode.